Welcome to Cashing in the Northwest. This is the official podcast of GeoWoodstock 18 right here in the great Pacific Northwest. Each week, we're going to talk about caches and cachers from here and all around the globe. So while you're testing the notes you can make with your oven door, we'll be caching in the Northwest. And we can't do that until we bring in our seafaring simian. Some say he showers in a full wetsuit. And others say he has trained salmon to pull his kayak. All we know is he's called Land Monkey.
Yeah, it's a dry suit. Just to make sure your facts are straight. But thank you. It's good to be here. Good to be here at the Council of Chris's this evening. I feel honored to be amongst Chris's.
Amongst so many Chris's.
Yeah, that's about the highest designation I'm going to give you guys, just so you know. That's it tonight. I'm honored to be amongst Chris's.
Well, we're honored you're here.
Awesome. Well, tonight we are joined by Chris Brew, MC3 Cats, my favorite geocaching rapper, who is going to talk to us about CDSV, which is not a drugstore. It is Cache-Splash 2019, or V for victory, and 5. So it is the 5th Cache-Splash, and we're going to dig right into that after we get through some of the stuff we like to do at the beginning of the show, which is some news and some dancing. Oh, we did the dancing. All right, some news and some other stuff. And, first of all, the quick reminder that we appreciate the support of our patrons. You guys are awesome, and it is with your help that we can keep this podcast coming each and every week. We want to particularly thank the Land Sharks, our corporate Denali level sponsor. I had a little pause there because I clicked my button and my shark got stuck, so I had to stop what I was saying and look at my.
The shark got stuck.
My shark got stuck.
Maybe your salmon could have helped him out a little bit there.
You would think the salmon, well, they're kind of busy running from the shark or swimming from the shark. My salmon don't run very well at all.
Do they run upstream?
No, they do swim upstream. Anyways,
time of year you get the salmon run.
Thank you, Land Sharks, our corporate Denali level sponsor. And if you want to know more about supporting this show, click that Patreon link on the cachingnw.com, a website.
That's right. And we love Land Sharks just as much, maybe even a little more than we love glows, but we really do love glows more. We love glows more?
We do.
Wow. Okay. We love glows more. You know what a glow is? A glow is the geocaching log of the week. Whether you wrote it or whether you read it, we want to hear about it because great logs simply make geocaching better. You can send an email or a field recording to feedback@cachingnw.com. You can always call into 253-693-TFTC or use the voicemail right there on the website to show us how you glow. Now, call in or we're going to throw Land Monkey out of a window.
Ooh, that sounds painful.
Seems legit. All right.
Still not getting a call. Sorry, Land Monkey.
Oh. There he goes.
Bye-bye.
Oh, nice.
You know what? Tonight, Land Monkey will be somewhat safe because we do have a recording to play from Keepers of the Cash Flow. Shall we take a listen?
Noise. Yes.
GC 66-1, Nancy, Bigger A 64. There was a crack of lightning and the sky opened up like they pulled the plug on Poseidon's bathtub. The rain saturated the entirety of our bodies from head to toe. The blackness of the sky made the road look like something from a horror film with each flash, pop, and bolt of Zeus's lightning. We gave up the search for the caches. It was too much with the young hedgehog, who was not happy. And felt the softness of the ground, a stark comparison to the stability it held when we headed to the cache. From rough dirt road to rice pudding in a matter of minutes. We didn't dare turn around, but opted to instead continue on past all the caches ahead of us on the power trail and mosey on home. The sheer darkness was in such contrast to the flashes of light that we were constantly blinded by the two extremes. The lights of our van were reflecting back through the buckets of rain falling through the air, causing us to drive slowly as a precaution. The bottom of the Chevy Castro van ran aground at a few points while we sailed through the ruts and puddles, finding a balance between fast enough not to get stuck and slow enough to keep control. This morning we found mud along the running boards, and the van has made some interesting sounds while doing just about every type of action in either direction. We laughed today about how it was a good trip, near-death slip and slides and all. The van made some terrible noise, and we laughed, saying it might be an expensive trip too. Thank you, and happy caching.
From this point on, I'm going to be able to describe muddy roads as the consistency of rice pudding.
I think they taste about as good.
Yeah. There were some excellent word pictures that he used in there.
I love the Castro van myself. I thought that
Castro van, yes.
was awesome.
The good old Chevy Astro van.
I don't know if you guys know Keepers of the Cash Flow, who are a patron of the show, also have a YouTube channel. So you can definitely follow them there. And if I'm not mistaken, have dipped toes into the world of podcasting not too long ago, with a podcast about being a dad. So,
Oh wow,
nice.
yeah, so things to check out there for patrons and friends of the show, Keepers of the Cash Flow.
Nice. You can just Google Keepers of the Cash Flow.
Or you
That's
could
the
do that.
easiest way to find them. Use Googles.
Use the Googles. All right. Hey, before we start talking about CDSV, I also found some cool news that I want to share. Now, many of our listeners are of a technological bent. I know that we've got a few fellow nerds out there who also either work in IT or are quite fascinated by some technology aspects. And I came across this story on Microsoft's blog, of all places, about geocaching. And the story reads, ensuring that geocaches are properly placed and maintained is crucial so everyone playing the game has a great experience. When members, that means geocachers, find geocaches, they write about their experience in geocache logs. Yes, we do. These logs contain valuable information and feedback about the quality of the geocache. However, the resources to read, review, and analyze hundreds of thousands of logs per day is cost prohibitive. What? You mean somebody doesn't read every single log that comes into HQ? Wow. All right. I'm disappointed to hear that news. But anyways, going on.
According to the screen they have in there, they pop up and you see every log that comes in.
That's true.
That was Brian and Rock Chalk's job. They sit there all day and read the logs and then take notes, contact the reviewers. Yeah.
All based on the logs.
Anyways, Microsoft goes on to say, as I said, the resources to actually read these logs would be cost prohibitive. So Microsoft says we dramatically increased our responsiveness to geocache quality issues by employing the built-in sentiment analysis from Microsoft Power BI to categorize and analyze feedback about our geocaches. Sorry, Microsoft didn't say that. Geocaching HQ said that. So they said the solution helped us in several ways. Number one, it enabled us to understand overall trends and themes in our geocache logs, avoiding the enormous time investment it would take to review every member's comments. And number two, we used key phrase extraction combined with sentiment scoring, sounds pretty cool, to uncover valuable insights and resolve issues quickly. Kind of like the sentiment scoring. I want to learn more about that. The article concludes with, this solution provides us with an extremely powerful tool to keep track of the health of our geocache ecosystem. We can now take immediate action and react to the many different scenarios that arise. Having Microsoft Cognitive Services capabilities embedded in our Power BI platform was very easy to implement. It required no coding or complex algorithms and seamlessly updates every time the data flow is refreshed. So that's the marketing part. But interestingly, I did not know that HQ was using Microsoft's BI tools behind the scenes to analyze every log that comes in. So that's kind of cool.
That is cool. How very nice.
That's like super high tech there.
I know, right?
And only nerds understand what any of that meant.
Somewhat, yeah. So there's a lot of blah, 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 blah. HQ has robots that are reading your logs and tracking your sentiments.
Mm-hmm.
And then telling Rock Chalk what to do.
Yeah. And they all together tell Rock Chalk what to do.
That's right. Rock Chalk obeys the robot overlords at HQ.
Did I say overlords? I meant protectors.
That's right. So
Poor
moving right along, in GeoWoodstock 18 news, we actually have some GeoWoodstock 18 news.
What?
Yeah. So make sure you join us at GC 8 Bravo Echo 46. That is in Surrey, BC on Sunday, August 25th for the 1 year to go event. You could win some cool GeoWoodstock and other prizes. Chris, you look like you have some cool GeoWoodstock swag sporting tonight.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at that.
Woohoo.
Where would one get such a cool I wanted to say hat, but I wanted to say something more important than hat, but I couldn't think of the word.
Chapeau.
That's a great question.
Chapeau.
So I'm not sure exactly what prizes we're going to have, but we are going to have GeoWoodstock prizes. We'll have some other prizes as well. And you will, if you come to this event, be the first to hear some exclusive GeoWoodstock news about what's going to be going on a year from there.
What? Exclusive?
Exclusive. But also we've noticed that a few people have been able to order their own hats now. So that's something else to check out. And that's about all I'm going to say about that. But the resourceful listener will figure out what to do at that point.
Land Monkey.
Yes, sir.
This is in a particular city in British Columbia.
This is in Surrey, British Columbia.
Now, when you apologize, what do you say?
Well, let me tell you that having the event in Abbotsford is never having to say you're Surrey.
Okay.
So yes, GeoWoodstock itself is going to be in Abbotsford, which is 2 communities over, but we're hosting the 1 year to go event in Surrey, British Columbia, because it is highly accessible from all of our transit systems. It's right at the end of the SkyTrain line. So we figured it's in Holland Park. It'll be in a place where it'll be really easy for everybody to get there for that event. Because obviously we didn't rent a big venue for the 1 year to go event.
Of course.
So yeah, so encourage people to come on out.
If only you had the budget for that.
Yeah, the budget for that event was fairly easy. The budget for the other event, a whole nother conversation.
Right.
All right, very cool. So yeah, we're hoping people can make it out.
Our listeners were just out chasing a D5 has made it back in time. So we're ready now to begin the podcast.
Awesome. All right.
Start it over.
Awesome. Well, congrats on that. Hopefully you got your D5.
D5. Wow.
That's
right.
That's not something you just want to think, hey, I've got nothing to do this evening.
Yeah, that's true. And it's a D5, not a T5. So that's perhaps a whole other conversation. So there you go. We'll want to hear more about that. Jamie, you can FTAS us some of that info.
But now, tonight,
yes,
we are talking about caching and dashing and splashing in that particular order. This is Cache Dash Splash number 5. That's why you want to use the hashtag CDSV. That was where the V came from, Roman numeral, folks. Keep up. And we've got the person to talk about it, MC3 Cats.
Well, thank you for letting me come on here and talk about this fun little event we're doing down in the southwest part of the state. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Cache Dash Splash. I mean, this is the fifth year for it, the fish year for it.
It could also be the fish year. We'll see how it goes.
So is and like in wedding anniversaries go, is 5 the fish?
Well,
Honey,
maybe
here's
when
a
I don't have enough water.
Only in Norway.
There you go.
That's lutefisk.
It's great.
Oh, there we go. So,
Good Lord.
what is Cache Dash Splash? When does it start? And where is it again?
Okay, so the event is down in Long Beach, Washington, not to be confused with Long Beach, California. If you go down there, you've gone way too far south.
The weather's almost the same, though.
Almost the same. Well, you got a Long Beach, so that's about the end of the comparison there. So southwest corner of the state. The event is it's really more than just an event. It's a series of events, and we're going to run the event starting Thursday, the 12th of September. We're going to run it all the way through to Sunday, the 15th. And we've got events stacked every day during that period of time. and they're all in Long Beach.
Nice. Now, on the Thursday, September 12th, you're not having an event, say at 9:00, that would conflict with a favorite podcast that might be airing at that time.
Oh, that's a great point. It might slightly interfere, but yeah, the Thursday evening event is actually at a tavern, and one of the Long Beach one of the Long Beach merchants is helping host that for us. But I think you can probably sneak out and get back to your hotel room just in time.
Maybe we can convince the tavern to put this on their TVs.
Hey, you know what? Well, I'll talk to Carlin, see if she's up for that.
Wait, you already know the person by name. I mean, how can
I do.
It just seems like the right thing to do.
It really does.
We're probably going to overrun the place anyway, so might as well take over the TVs too. What the heck?
What could go wrong?
Yeah.
As we always say on this podcast, right before something disastrous happens,
Oh no,
what could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? How hard can it be?
just setting ourselves up for failure right there.
Yep.
Oh well. So the event, this is its 5th year, hence the V. So no one gets confused. The event has got a kind of a funky name. What the heck is Cash Dash Splash? What does that mean?
Yeah,
I don't
tell us,
know.
what does that mean?
So it's kind of or CDS for short. That's what we all call it. It's kind of an acronym of what the event is really about. So of course the C, cash, makes sense. There's going to be caches that are put out, as we have done in previous years, that are going to be tuned just to this event. So they're going to be CDS 5 and the name of the cache. There's going to be a passport that will hand out at the event. You'll go around and code words in the caches. You bring back the completed passport, and you're going to get a special prize for your efforts. So there's your C for cash.
All right.
The dash. Well, the dash in previous years, we've done a couple of different things. This year, the dash is going to be a tag. I think last year it was a railroad spike because it was a railroad theme last year.
Cool.
So this year we're doing a dash tag, and it looks something like this. So we're going to hide 10 of these guys out along the Long Beach Peninsula. Here, I'll show the other side while I'm at it, so you can see. So you would not get confused at all what this thing is. The CDS 5. So if you find one of these guys, and so how that's going to work is we're going to during the event, the actual main event, if you will, which is on Saturday morning, we're going to via Facebook, we're going to announce the coordinates and the hints and descriptions of where these little guys are, and we're just going to do it throughout the day. So like I said, there's going to be 10 of these guys. If you go out and you find one of these, you bring it back to one of the mini events that we're hosting during the weekend, and there's a very special limited edition prize that we're going to hand off to that lucky person who finds a dash tag.
So
Pretty
there's
cool.
only 10.
It's only 10.
And they're all going to happen on Saturday during the main event.
That's correct.
So throughout the day,
Ooh.
throughout the day, follow the Facebook page, the Cash Dash Splash Facebook page, and at random times throughout the day, one of those 10 sets of coordinates and hints will get released.
That's
Are
it.
they coordinates or hints? It's going to
be it's going to be both. We're going to do the coordinates and the hints, because obviously, sure, you could go and end out on some beach grass somewhere, and okay, I'm here. Where is it? So we're going to have a little more information on it.
Is it progressively more detailed?
Yeah, it's a lot of it's going to depend on where it is. If it's if it's in a real thick wooded area, we might have a little more information than just say it's in a stump.
Nothing
Or
wrong with
it's
that. Go check them out.
I think when you're looking for something that small, I think it's good to give the hint or a photo hint or whatever, as well as a
Right,
because then you
right.
reduce the amount of impact on the environment. So
Exactly.
I think that's a responsible thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want folks tearing up the coastline there, the beach and everything. So we're going to try to make it easier for those to go out there and find one and not wreck the environment in the process. So that's the dash part. And then the splash is pretty obvious because it is in September on the Southwest Washington coast. Chances are it's either going to be raining or you're out on the beach getting wet. Either way, you're splashing in water. So there's the splash side of it.
Woohoo!
So there's no specific event around where one should be prepared to,
Well,
immerse
actually,
yourself 100% in the water. Or
there actually potentially is. Yeah, the last event. I know we're going to talk about that a little bit later on, but the final event of the weekend, as we have done every year, is a CETO, and that is going to be on the beach. Yeah, so hence there's the water angle there.
Can I volunteer Chris of the Northwest for the dunk tank?
That would be a big splash.
It would. For everyone.
We'll have to get that on
Everyone
video too if we do that.
I'm going to go back to throwing Land Monkey out a window.
Too late. I already climbed my way back.
Oh, okay.
All right. Hey, so
If there's a dunk tank, I will volunteer.
there you go. What a sport. What a sport. So I think you've kind of answered this, but there's probably more to this question. So we're going to ask it. ... Are there any geocoins associated with this event?
Yes. Absolutely. So we're going to have, of course, for those who complete the passports and turn them in. And again, we'll have plenty of events during this entire weekend. Bring a completed passport. We'll hand off a coin. So we'll have the coins for just those that have found the caches. There's going to be a series of 10 very special coins for the dash tags. And they're going to look different than the ones that you get for finding the caches, which I think we're going to talk about that. But there'll be 15 caches that we're going to put out for the coin challenge, if you want to call it that. That's a good way to call it. It's a coin challenge. And if you want to see what those look like, we have them up on the Cache-Splash website. I think it's also up on our, it should be on our Facebook page too. I think I saw Jesse post that on there.
Nice. All right. So yeah. So if you want to get a quick peek at what the coin is going to look like for this year's event, go to the Cache-Splash Facebook page and website. And Chris, you had that. Can you put that back up again? You had
the tag. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Chris of the Northwest. This is why it's confusing. That's okay.
Look, here's the tag.
3 cats. You hold the tag up, and Chris of the Northwest, can you put up the? There we go. Awesome.
How about that?
That is even better than what I asked for.
And actually, I think this graphic really does not do the coin justice. The advanced coins that have come out of the mint are spectacular. It's not quite as bright yellow as that. So they have sort of an antique bronze kind of finish.
Nice.
It really is supposed to look like a portal on a ship.
Right.
So this funky kind of bright yellow thing isn't really the right color. It's more of an antique bronze. It really turned out well.
It's a beautiful coin.
Nice. And we can thank Mr. Mackey, Chris Mackey, for his fine artwork. You can kind of see it here on the design, but there's bolts and stuff on here, and you can see like screw heads. It's really a nice coin.
It's a well put together coin.
Oh yeah.
So what I'm hearing from a design perspective is it's a typical Chris Mackey quality level. Amazingly intricate. Yeah, intricate. Look for little hints and surprises and Easter eggs in there, and yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty fantastic. I remember as it was going through the design process, he was kicking it back to the mint, saying, "Oh no, you got to fix that screw. That's not right." He was his QA chops were in full swing on that, so it was really nice. So I can't wait to see them all, but I've only seen pictures of the first ones that came out, and they look pretty awesome.
Very, very cool. Hey, we had a question come up from Seabeck Tribe, and I think it's a good one to ask. So,
Yes.
So Chris, can you see that question on?
Yeah, I can. So
hold on a sec before you answer it, because some folks are listening by audio only. I'm going to read the question,
right.
so those folks can hear it first, which is, in the years before, we've had to pay registration fee. Do we have to pay that this year?
So no, we've done a few things differently this year with the events. So that is one of the things we've done away with. The other question that's come up is about meals. I know in prior years, the evening before we had a like catered meal. This year, we're not going to do that. We tried to simplify things a little bit. And it did bring on some challenges in prior years. So we thought, you know what, let's not go that route. Let's make this easier. Let's do something different. And that's when we get to the events themselves, we'll talk a little bit about that.
Very cool. Moving on to my next question for you, Mr. Three Cats. You mentioned that the CDS weekend of events are themed. And we're curious about what this year's theme might be.
And so that has been a constant throughout this entire history of this event, is there's always been some theme. And last year it was sort of the Clamshell Railroad, I think, was their theme last year. So this go around, we're going with the Graveyard of the Pacific, which makes excellent sense considering the fact that right there where the mouth of the Columbia dumps into the Pacific, there is a lot of ships that have wrecked right off that coastline. So the names of these caches that we're going to put out here will all have a ship's name. So it'll be CDS 5, the wreck of whatever. It won't be the Edmund Fitzgerald, because that's a slightly different body of water there. But
we're all going for the same joke.
I know.
But that was very cool. So
now it is my understanding you had 1,000 extra coins produced, put them in a chest, and hid them in one of these shipwrecks, right?
I think that'd be, there's a D5 for sure. D5 and
D5, anyways. Yeah.
You're gonna have them both. Yeah, that would be fun. But someone's got to go out there with diving gear, and that's some rough waters out there.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, if you're gonna have a D5 T5, you're gonna earn it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, go out there in the wintertime. You'll really earn it.
So now this is not in everybody's backyard. So perhaps some people are traveling. I might be traveling with a snuggle muggle who really enjoys the area and some of the places we've stayed in the past, but I know that. What about some of the other people? Where should they look to stay? Is there any associations of hotels or motels?
Oh yeah. So I think in prior years we've done this, and we're definitely doing it again this year. The Chautauqua Lodge in Long Beach. It's easily I'm pretty sure it's the biggest hotel in Long Beach. It's right on the beach. They have their own access to the coastal trail there. So they have been extremely gracious to us again this year, giving all CDS 5 attendees a special discount for staying in their fine hotel. The cutoff for the cheapest rate, which is $69 a night, is actually today. So if you want to get in on the $69 a night, you got to call now. After tonight, it jumps up to $79 a night, which isn't that much more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's $10 a night. That's worth it to a lot of folks. So you have to call in. You can't do this on the website. You got to give them a call and just say, yeah, you want to get lodging for the Cash Dash Splash weekend. They'll say, oh, okay, well, it's $69 a night. If you want to go with a condo, which they have those as well, those are $109 a night. And then it bumps up to, where does it go? It goes to $119. Yeah. So if you want to bring a family, or if you want to go in with a couple of people on a place, that's not a bad way to go either. And they're also going to be they're going to host a couple of events there too.
Oh, how
All
can
the more reason to, like I said, they kind of rolled the red carpet out for us this year. They've been awesome to work with too.
Well, I can tell you from experience that I have been in a regular hotel room and in a condo room, and the condo room is worth it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to split that with a couple of people. The condo room I was in, I want to say, was a full 2-bedroom. So they had separate rooms there you could shut a door to. And if you're splitting that among a couple of people, you're saving money right there.
Oh yeah, heck, that's a steal then.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's almost too cheap to pass up. Now you have to.
Exactly.
Well, and even after the rate jumps up again, if you're $120, if you're splitting that between a handful of folks, that works out all right. That's not too bad.
It really does. And it's where it's located. It's a fantastic location. It's kind of near everything. It's just right up the road from kind of the downtown part. So all the, the restaurants and stuff are right there. Everything is really close to that hotel.
Seabeck Tribe says we've done a condo room with 5 to 6 people. Love it.
Wow. That's cool. That's the way to do it though. Really, it is.
Subway Mark says the regular rooms are pet friendly. Our dog loved it last year.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, they love geocachers. When we were down there talking to them again this year about having them host and giving us the special break on the rooms, they're just like, yeah, we love having the cachers. They're so much fun to have here at the hotel. So they love us.
When you have a relationship like that, it makes it so much easier. You don't have to explain to the folks, okay, we're going to bring people in, they're going to come in at different times. They're coming and go. They know. They've already done it now for 4 years. This is their 5th year. And
and if they didn't like us coming back every year, they wouldn't give us the special break. So I think that just says it all right there.
Exactly.
So to have us there.
In the past, I've brought my Snuggle Muggle, but what is there for non-cachers to do? Because, the cachers, they're not going to be around. Let's face it.
They're gonna ditch the spouse and be out on the beach or wherever else. So for the non-cacher, there's a number of different things to do. You can always drop your Snuggle Muggle off at the downtown shopping area. There's all kinds of cool stores. They do a big kite festival down there, so they have kite shops if you're into that. Of course, there's beach combing, outdoor activities. They got that really awesome trail that runs along the beach there. So there's biking, there's hiking. You can rent a horse and go out on the beach and ride. So there's all of those kind of outdoor activities. In terms of historical significance, you can just zip right down to the Lewis and Clark Visitor Center down there. That's another awesome place. There's a lot of history there. There's a lighthouse as well there, a Coast Guard station. It's kind of an endless thing that you can do. I mean, if you can't find anything to do down there, then there's something wrong with you.
You're not trying hard enough.
You're not trying. That's right.
While you're speaking specifically to things for, entertaining our muggles that are coming with us, I do have to say that there's a pretty cool earth cache at that lighthouse as well. So.
Yes, there is. Yeah, exactly. So, and because it is on the coast, there are a lot of really fine earth caches. I like the one that talks about how the Long Beach was formed, and the claim to fame that area is it's the longest beach in the world, and there's a reason why. And wouldn't you know, it has something to do with geology. And some industrious cacher took that opportunity to do an earth cache. So nice. It's a pretty cool one to do.
Yeah. So, I mean, walking along the beach is great. Horseback riding. I wouldn't suggest driving on the beach. Would you, Land Monkey?
Well, it's all about having the right equipment and enough friends to push your vehicle out of the ruts in the sand, really.
Yes.
I feel like you're getting at something, Chris, but I really don't.
No, I was just curious.
Yeah, and it's one of those areas that you can go out there and drive on the beach. They do have sectioned off areas where you can do that, but
Stay
you
on
really
those sections.
got to keep your eye on the surf. Is it high tide? Is it low tide? Which way is it going? Is it going in, coming out? Yeah, and don't just park your car there and think it's going to stay there if you're going to go running down a trail.
It'll become another wreck for next year's event. Yeah.
Find your car flooded or floating on off into the Pacific. So be careful if you're going to do that.
There you go. Mr. Three Cats, can you give us maybe a bit of a rundown of the entire weekend, what you guys have planned?
Okay. Yeah, this is really a chock full weekend. There's not a day where we do not have an event. And in prior years, the kickoff was on a Friday night. This year we decided to add Thursday night. So we have a pre kickoff. So that very first one is the meetup at the tavern, and that's at Carla's Tavern, which is the North Beach Tavern. So that's from 6:30 to 7:30. So yeah, you have plenty of time to get back for the podcast.
Exactly. So if you're going to CBS, there's plenty of time for CNW.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good. But honestly, I think, I'm going to put a little bit of a squeeze here on you, Chris, and say, if you can get these guys to put the podcast on their TVs, stretch the event out.
That's true.
Exactly.
I really don't think Carl is going to have a problem with that.
That's at least another beer per person.
There you go.
Everybody wins.
And there's a cache right out in front of the tavern too. So there you go. You have no excuses. You don't.
Done.
You really don't. Yeah.
We've taken them all away from you right there.
So that's Thursday.
That's Thursday night. So the next one, the Friday night event, the Anchors Away event, that's the GC 8AX3T. That is at a really awesome place called the Lost Rue Restaurant. We connected with them and said, hey, we need a big restaurant to hold the pre, so not the pre, but the pre-event on Friday night.
Thousands of geocachers that will come.
Yes, and I know in prior years they've found this little pizza place that just overrun. So this place is huge. I think it's probably one of the biggest restaurants in Long Beach, and we're going to have our own room, which I'm sure we'll spill out of. But Tamara's really good about it. She said, hey, no problem. We can handle it. So it's a bar, tavern, restaurant, but it's huge. It's not the North Beach Jetty Tavern's pretty, or the North Beach Tavern is pretty small. So this place is gigantic compared to that. So no people, we won't have people standing out in the streets and trying to get pizza.
Awesome.
So that's Friday night. And then really the main event is the next day, Saturday morning. And we've called that the Ships Are Sailing, which is the GC 83 Bravo 6. And so that's on Saturday the 14th. That kicks off at 7:30 in the morning. So don't have too much fun at the Rue the night before, because we're kicking this thing off early the next morning. So it goes from 7:30 to 9 in the morning. And that's where you're going to pick up your passports and other information. Also during that event, all of the 15 caches will go live at that time, and the dash tags will start popping out. So that's the main event. That's where you want to be. One thing we didn't mention, we also have the Cache Dash Splash shirt that we are running through Red Hat Imprints. If you have chosen to have the shirts sent to the event to avoid the shipping, we'll be handing those out at that event as well. And the shirts look fantastic, by the way, if you've not seen those. Those are up on our website. And I'm pretty sure they're on the Facebook page too.
The company that you mentioned that you're doing the shirts with, is that the same folks that you did Hands Across the Border
Yes.
and you're doing Ape with as
Mhm.
well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they have been just phenomenal to work with. Jenny over there, um, fantastic to work with. What I love about what they do for apparel is it's all about options. If you want a monogram shirt, you can get a monogram shirt. Do you want a trackable? They can put a tracking number on there. If whatever color the rainbow you want, they can make it happen for you. And it's not just a regular t-shirt. They can do tank tops, they can do sweaters, hoodies, tote bags. I mean, it's kind of the sky's the limit with them. So we connected with them, and the nice thing about that is we don't have to put a whole bunch of advertising on the shirts. We just have the Long Beach Merchants Association on there, since they are one of the major funders of the event in terms of the coin. So and that's on the coin anyway, so we have that on there. Basically the shirt kind of has the picture of the coin on it. That design that Mackie did is on there, so it's really a
Plus
nice shirt.
whatever customizations you order for your shirt. So
Yeah, I mean, you can go crazy with it.
awesome. So that takes
Okay.
us to the main event during the day on Saturday, and you get
We
your
did, yeah, so
passport, you get
that's
your
Yep.
shirt, you head
so
out,
yeah.
have fun for the day, finding caches, finding all 10 of the tags because you're amazing.
Obsessed, but yeah, same thing.
Obsessed, amazing. It works.
So what happens next? Saturday evening.
Okay, so Saturday evening, we reconvene at the Chautauqua Lodge, and that event is GC 83 Bravo 7, the Ran Aground event. It's a good name. Okay, we're done cashing for the day. We ran aground. As you can see, even the events are themed here with this whole nautical thing.
Nice.
So that was kind of fun, coming up with the names for these places. So that's going to be back at the Chautauqua in their big banquet ballroom on the main floor. It's a huge location, and we're going to use this spot more than once. So the Saturday evening event, again, if you're out getting those last of the caches and you've just got your passport all cleared out, swing on by. We're going to be there till we're going to 8 o'clock in the evening. So if you're burning that day, the last of the daylight to get that last cache, bring your passport in. We'll have the coins. We'll hand them to you at that event.
Nice.
We made it long for that very reason, because we figured there are people that are gonna try to get it all done in a day, and 15 caches, I think that's going to be doable. So anyway, that's the Saturday evening event, and then the next day we're going to be right back in that same room on Sunday the 15th. We're going to have the Graveyard of the Pacific event, and so that's our early morning event. We'll have a very light. I don't think I'd even call it a continental breakfast, but it's going to be a very light breakfast affair. Donuts, coffee, juice, that kind of stuff.
I think Americans call that a continental breakfast.
Yeah,
There's not much continent there, but yeah,
it really is. Where'd they come up with that anyway?
The rest of the world calls a continental breakfast something completely different, but
Right.
in America, that's a continental breakfast.
We'll throw a granola bar at you and say, "There you go, it's breakfast."
Congratulations. Yeah.
You got out of bed. Here's your prize.
All right. So 7:30 to 9 a.m.
That's 7:30 to 9 a.m. And again, for those that were really out there working it at night and missed the evening event, but got their passport done, first of all, God bless you for being out, 10 o'clock at night getting them. So if by some, magical reason you were able to get it all done at the, stroke of midnight, missed the evening event, we got you covered in the morning. So we'll get you on Sunday, get you the coin. And then right after that, there's a little bit of gap between the two events. And we did that for folks that want to check out of the hotel and get their gear packed up. So the same day, but later on in the morning, we're doing the final event, which historically has always been the CETO. That's the Swab the Decks GC 8 Bravo 7 Alpha Papa, and I came up with this name. I thought it was appropriate. Swab the deck. So what we're doing is this is a beach cleanup that we're doing, and it's right, if you know where the big Long Beach Arch is as you drive out to the beach. It's just down the road from the arch. And so what we're doing is we've teamed up with this outfit called Ocean Blue. So they're going to provide the gear. We're not going to be using plastic bags. They're really against that, which makes sense because we're out cleaning the beach, picking up plastic bags. Why would we be using one?
They use like mesh bags or something like that, don't they?
Yeah, so they're going to use environmentally friendly bags to pick up the trash that we find. So we're going to run that event. It's going to go to 12:30, and then we have successfully made it through the long CDS weekend.
Wow.
So there's a lot going on. So every day there's something. And in fact, there's a couple of days where we got two things going on.
I was going to say, and there's some days where there's more than one thing going on, and we're not even talking about geocache finds.
Right. It's going to be a great event this year. We've got a lot of time into it, a lot of going back and forth on various things. So it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Mr. Three Cats, we have a question from the chat that wants to know, are there coins available from last year?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Thanks for asking that one. So what'll happen is when the when the events are all done, the extra coins will be taken to the Long Beach Visitor Center. And that's where the excess coins go for those that can't make the event but want to come out and find the caches. So there'll be a limited number of those left. I think they still have some from last year. That I am not exactly sure. I would look into that, give them a call, find out, or while you're down there. I'm sure we have quite a few of those caches still up, if not all of them from last year. I know they've slowly have been archived over the years, but there's even some still from CDS 3.
So Chris, those aren't coins that you would buy. Those are coins you still would have to earn with the previous year's passports.
Right. So whatever's left, if the caches are still out there, if you've got 5 of them to go find, hey, that's an easy earned coin right there. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think there's a lot of the old ones left, though, to be honest. I think those are all gone. They did the what was that, the villain theme one year where they had all these famous outlaws and stuff in the area, and so it was sort of a jail theme. Though the coin was pretty cool. In fact, I think if you check on our website, we might still have images of those coins. So they had like a ball and chain attached to like a brick wall. That one went pretty quick. So anyway, I think there's some left over, the railroad ones those are pretty cool too.
The railroad ones were cool. The clamshell railway, it was like a big ticket.
Yeah, exactly. It was pretty cool. It was like the size of a belt buckle. It was a big
wow.
So they may have a few of those left. I know the caches are still out. So if you can't make the CDS weekend, don't sweat it. Definitely try to get out there after whenever you can and print up the passport. We'll get the passport on our website. It's not up there right now because it hasn't been made yet. we gotta get the caches put out and all that. Yeah, so there you go. That is a awesome image of it right there. That one did not last very long.
Mm-hmm.
It was gone.
Not surprisingly, yeah. That is a beautiful.
Those were some fun caches that year. I remember that.
Yeah, they were all outlaw themed. It was pretty cool. And there's still a few of the caches out, but the coins are long gone. They didn't last.
Well, we want to give you an update. If you're trying to call right now, Jamie said, I just tried to book the lodge. The person there is all on her own and asked if we could call back tomorrow. She thinks the rate is fixed and doesn't think it'll be a problem for us to book then. So.
Yeah, I know the manager there. Her name's Kelly. So if there's a problem and this poor gal is one person running the reservation. reservations. I'm sure they'll cut us some slack.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, they've been fantastic to work with. I
Wait,
can't say.
well, how long have you spent down in Long Beach that you know all these people?
I've been down there a few times, and I've got one more trip down there Labor Day weekend. So before the event,
And you've already picked out your new friend you're going to meet?
Yeah.
I've looked at Ted sitting over on that beach chair for the last 3 weeks. I'm going to go say hi to him today.
I know a few of the business owners apparently. So,
Apparently, yeah, not surprisingly, but that's awesome. I mean, I think as geocachers, we really appreciate the effort that you and the WSGA team put into this event and the planning and building the connections and gathering all that information. So, from a geocacher potential attendee perspective, if we want to find out more information about this event, where should we go? Where would you direct us?
definitely hit the Cash-Splash website. That is that and Facebook, because we're doing social media too. I mean, you can't just do one and not the other. Kind of doesn't make sense. So cash-splash.com. I've been webmastering that. That was one of my a few duties on this. So that's got a lot of information on there, and as things become available, we're going to add more information. What I'm waiting for now is to get the coins, the actual real coins, not the artwork of it up. We do have the shirts on there, so you can take a look at that. There should be a link to Red Hat. So if you go, God, I got to have that shirt, you can go right over and get it. There's a time limit on when you can order them. So I don't remember exactly the date. I want to say maybe August 25th, sticking in my head. But that information's on there as well. Links to the lodge, the Chautauqua Lodge is on there. And there's a bunch of other information. I mean, I can, I'm just rattling off what I remember is on there, but there's a ton of stuff on there.
Well, and I think that's great. So really the place to go. So yeah, and we've got it up on the screen right now. If you want to,
call now,
log your will attend, and then go and phone the Chautauqua Lodge, get your room. Like Jamie's already done. And thank you, Jamie, for the update. We really appreciate that. That's amazing.
Yeah, that was awesome. I did let the hotel know that we were going to be, doing the podcast and, kind of promoting, of course, the lodge and, the other businesses we talked about as well. So, so they knew. I said, be prepared. You're probably going to get a lot of calls Thursday night.
And they thought you were kidding because, clearly.
Yeah, sure. This guy who just comes down once every 3 weeks.
And next year they'll know.
They'll take my word seriously next time.
Oh, that's cool. Well, that's awesome. So it sounds like you guys have built some really great relationships.
Yes.
And it sounds like the place to go, like I said, log your will attend on the event, but definitely sounds like cash-splash.com is really where you go. I think you can get everything else you need right from there. Sounds like.
Yeah, and then the Facebook, that's going to be what your focus will be on when you're at the event itself, because that's where we're going to start dropping the dash.
Right.
So, so we'll use that for quick announcements and such too. So but really the website's kind of the nucleus of all the information for the event.
Nice.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, MC3 Cats, thank you so much for joining us. Now, you, besides knowing all about Cash-Splash, you do a couple of other little things for geocachers.
just a few.
Yeah. Do you want to take a moment and plug those?
Well, we got to talk about the Ape event, of course, which is this Sunday. So if you're not event cashed out yet, this will be a primer for the Cash-Splash. So this Sunday is the Ape event, and this is the Going Ape X. We're throwing another Roman numeral at you here. Sorry, but that's
definitely the Apex event.
The Ape X. That's not extra large. It's just X. So that's the 10th anniversary of the Going Ape event. It's amazing. It's we're in our 10th year. I'll have to tease you guys with one of the coins that I have here. So I'll put this up here. So you all, if you haven't seen it, here is the coin for this year's thing. This thing is like the size of a credit card.
This is your belt buckle, really,
This
is what you're showing us.
Yeah, right. Except there's a little door on it. Go figure that, right?
Oh, you don't want a door and a belt buckle. That's awesome.
There's a unusual and somewhat familiar shape to that door opening.
There is. And then this is the back of the coin here. Really some phenomenal artwork. So the coin, I think I've got a tag here. I'll fit in there if I can find one. Here we go. So we're doing the Going Ape spot the tag thing, or spot the ape. So that has been ongoing. So if you find one of these little dudes here, that will get you one of these. How about that? And lo and behold, oddly enough, the tag actually fits in the coin there.
What? What's the chance of that?
Nice.
Yeah, who the heck designed that, huh? So that's what it looks like when it's closed. You can kind of see him peeking
You
out.
see the ape behind the doors there, behind the grill.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
we have a couple of different coins that the color schemes are a little different. So we have a base one, we have a premium, and then there's a VIP version, which are extremely limited numbers. And then as the tags go, as these little guys go, we've got several of these as well. So the base coin just gets, or the base coin just gets that. You don't get any tags. And then the levels up above all come with different little tags that go in the center.
So Chris,
Nice.
I have a Going Ape comment to make, and then I have a question for you regarding those tags.
Okay.
So the comment, first of all, is to let our listeners and our viewers know that if you want to meet Chris of the Northwest, and I'm hoping Wits End and definitely myself, come and find us. We're going to have a tent at Going Ape X, the 10th anniversary of Going Ape. So please come and see us. We'd love to talk with you. And if you've got questions about GeoWoodstock 18 next year, come talk to me. I'm going to be there. I'm going to have all the info for you, and would love to talk to you and answer your questions. So that's my comment. My question is, I remember in previous years, you guys actually hid some of the tags at the event itself. Is that going to happen this year?
I would not be surprised.
Okay, so you cannot say
He's not saying yes. He's not saying no. There's a chance.
Leaving that door open. Oh, we'll also have lab adventure caches as well. There's already one, a series already up right now that released. I think it was last weekend. There's a lot of trails in that area. If you don't know, if you're not at all familiar with the Hyack area, which is just right off of I-90 as you come over the, you're cresting it from the west. So it's just past the summit. There's trails galore around there. So there's a Cliff did a real nice job on the CRS 98. Here we go. If you don't know who Cliff is, he did a really fantastic job on putting the adventure together. So we've got one of them already live. Then during the event, the other one's gonna drop magically. So we'll have two of them out. So there'll be 20 labs that we'll do during the event. And I mean, it's just we're not doing too many things extra special really beyond that. I mean, it is a 10th event. The coin, I think, really is kind of the cool thing. There is one pre-event that our Puget Sound rep is putting on down in Issaquah there at that really cool, I think it's Top Pot Donuts, I believe is where it's at. It's a cool little place in Issaquah. So that's before the actual ape event cranks up. So it's earlier in the morning. Fortunately, I won't be able to attend that one, but I'll have other things to do at that time of the morning. That is hilarious.
Reham says MC3 Cats delegates all the work to his vice president, or so she claims.
Hey, she's the ape queen,
She is the ape queen.
And if you guys, actually listeners, if you want to know more about the Going Ape X event and maybe get a little bit of insight into next year's big Going Ape event, go back a few episodes in our podcast, and the Ape Queen was on the podcast and was telling us all kinds of great info that you should definitely hear. So yeah, definitely go back a few episodes and take a listen to that.
Yeah, Jessie's phenomenal. She's a go-getter. She's right now as this podcast is going on, she's sitting in her house putting all of those pre-ordered 8 packages together for the event. So if you're listening, hey Jess.
I thought she did that work while she was running up a mountain. That was my understanding of how Jessie works.
She might be on a treadmill. Who knows?
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me either.
The picture I saw earlier today, she had a cat helping her out. So I thought that.
Okay.
Seebeck Tribe wants to know how long the lab adventures that pop up on the day of the event are going to be available.
That's a great question. Since I haven't even seen them, I am not exactly sure. I know the one that released already, that's already out. That one's going to be up there for a while, and I'm pretty sure the ones that during the event I'm thinking they'll be out for a while too. That I will have to check on. And I can ask Cliff on that. But yeah,
I'm sorry, we don't know Cliff.
CRS 98.
Oh, CRS 98. Okay.
There you go.
Actually, we do know Cliff. He is a patron.
He is a patron, and he is
a great guy if you get a chance to meet him.
He really is.
48 North chapter rep too. So there you go.
That's the chapter I'm a member of because that's the closest one to home.
Yeah. So he's our guy in the northern tier.
Land Monkey, you're the more north than the 48, right?
Right.
Well, I am, and I'm a BCGA member and I'm a WSGA member because I do about a quarter of my caching in Washington State.
That might be a little low, but okay.
He's not afraid of borders. There you go.
There you go.
No.
There's a border? Where? You got that Nexus pass. You just fly right on through, right?
Something like that. Yeah, there's a few rules. But
He does slow down, but not much.
At least you're not sitting in the big line.
that's the plan. That's the
That's
investment.
why
If you're looking for Seebeck Tribe and you want to meet her, you can find her at the Trackable tent.
Awesome. Hey,
Is
Seebeck,
the entire tent trackable?
Sorry, Chris, I talked over you. What were you saying?
I was going to say, is the entire tent trackable?
Now,
Yeah,
that's
it
a
should.
cool idea.
That's one big geocache to put it in. Go
Might have
ahead,
to look-
Mikey. What were you going to say?
Well, I was just saying to thank Seebeck Tribe for volunteering and doing that because everybody loves discovering and dropping and picking up trackables, but you need somebody to organize all that work and volunteer and keep it going. So I appreciate their work to do that. Thank you.
Mhm.
That's a lot because we get so many trackables at this event. We'll get people from all over the world attending too. I mean, I think I've had some people connect from New Zealand, Australia, of course, Germany. So it's a big event.
I have to ask you a very pointed question about your trackable tent. Last year, it was very noticeable that there was no container for Canada.
I remember this.
Until Mrs. Landsharks pointed out to those running the tent, what about trackables coming or going to Canada? And they were like, oh.
Uh-oh.
I'm assuming we'll kind of get ahead of that one this year, maybe.
I think Lori's going to make sure you guys are covered. We got to get north of the of the 49th.
Let me just say, because if you don't, I'm not going to blame Lori. I'm going to come after you on that one.
I take full responsibility.
All right. So I think we've covered off all that stuff. That's fantastic. I want to thank Landsharks, our corporate Denali level sponsor, for sponsoring this show and all of our shows as they do. We really appreciate that sponsorship. And hey, you know what? If you haven't checked them out, check them out. Landsharks.ca is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. You can go online, or hey, they actually have an in-person store with a really cool geocache outside of it. So go
real
check
people.
it out. Yeah, it is really cool when you
No,
check.
it's an awesome store too. I've been there a few times.
There you go.
I mean, it's Victoria, for crying out loud. Why would you not want to go there?
Who doesn't want to go to Victoria? And if you go to Victoria, visit the Landsharks. They're open 6 days a week, except holidays, and they ship online orders daily.
That's right. And if you go to Victoria, you never know. Somebody will just pick you up right off the ferry and take you to the Landshark store.
You never know.
You never know. Only if you make special arrangements first. But yeah,
There's not somebody just walking around the waterfront there going, "Hey, do you need a ride?"
it's Victoria. That may actually happen. They're pretty friendly there.
Well, that's
Now,
true.
we also want to thank our faithful Denali level supporters, which of course is Land Sharks, but it's also JP's Geo Designs, Limax, Team Squirrel, and worldcaching.com. And folks, if you want to know more about supporting this show, we encourage you to go on over to our website. Maybe you're already there. Click that Patreon link on the cachingandw.com website, and that'll tell you everything you need to know about joining this illustrious list we are about to read of our patrons. And that would include Broncos Fan for Life,
Sprouter,
Camp Clan,
Tick Magnet,
Kev MacD,
Subway Mark,
Doramore,
Dune Buddy,
Kid Vegas 19,
GeoNav Pros,
Wino Seattle,
Acrodoc,
Billy Robson,
Genies,
Anteas,
Keats 94,
Trexer Zero.
MC3 Cats.
That's that guy right down there, right there.
I'm in the Alice position, I guess.
Thank you for continuing from last week's podcast. Also, Kennel Barb,
M Nerve,
Wet Coaster and Greenwords,
Segehove,
Alarobic,
keepers of the cash flow who will call in from time to time.
Clearly, Highlands Guy,
The Geo Travelers,
Boomer 365,
GSM ×2,
Kitty Quest,
T Sayer,
very active in the chat today, Seabeck Tribe,
and very well mentioned in the podcast today, CRS 98.
That's awesome. And until next week, we would love to know where our listeners can find the people on this podcast and stalk them appropriately. So that would, of course, include MC3 Cats. If people wanted to get a little more information about you, about the event, about the WSGA, where would you point them?
Oh, geez. Number of places there. We could start with obviously the geocaching.com. Just message me there. I get a lot of messages, obviously. So you can check there. You can go to the WSGA website. We have a contact email right there, and that will go to not only myself, but the rest of the board. The executive board gets that. So if you got a question about, anything about the WSGA, great place to go there. And if I can't get to it, somebody else will. So do that. I'm also on Facebook. You can check me out there. So I think got it all covered.
You got it all covered.
Yes, too. I should throw that in there too. I monitor that website as well, and so if messages come in that way, I'll see it. So, gosh, yeah, I'm everywhere.
There you go. And before we go on, I want to throw out that we've got an update from the Ape Queen herself, JT Coffee, who apologized for being late to the show tonight. No apology necessary. We're pleased you were able to join us. She was busy getting all the Going Ape 2019 swag bags together. So there you go.
Was working hard. So
Yes.
The hardest working woman in geocaching tonight.
That's true. It really.
And Jesse also threw out an answer to a question we had from Seabeck
Oh,
Tribe.
great.
So there you go. The 10 labs around the trailheads are available until Labor Day, and the 10 for the event will only be available at the event. So day of the event for those 10, the other 10 you've got until Labor Day.
How nice.
Oh.
And I thought it was a great idea to release those early, those 10 adventure labs, just to get people moving in the area and get used to it. So I thought that was great.
I was able to do one last weekend. That was it. I was up there doing the Star Trek series of caches, which if you haven't checked that out, man, you should definitely do that.
When the show ends, you and I are talking a little bit because I need some intel on that one.
I've got them all solved, but I don't have them all found. So
I bet I could do them right now.
I'm more interested in the roads and the access.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We've got them solved. So
Yeah. It's not too horrible.
okay. All right. We'll talk some more in the after show about that. Okay.
Land Monkey, if people wanted to find you on the internet to ask you about roads and driving on beaches, where would they find you?
You know what? They can even ask me about earth caches, like listener of the show, a listener of the show, Cachosaurus has done. and I'm helping him out working on an earth cache. So that's another thing. So of course you can find me on the geocaching.com at landmonkey. But follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, on Periscope. It's at LandMonkeyGC. On Facebook, we're Team Landmonkey. But honestly, you just search anywhere for Landmonkey, you'll probably find us. And of course, on YouTube, season 3 is out. We've got episode 3 just went live this week. And we're caching in the Caribbean with land sharks and a whole bunch of friends. They're fun, exciting, awesome, beautiful videos. Please check them out. Give them a like if you can. Just appreciate you watching them. Chris of the Northwest, how do people stalk you?
Well, I'm easy to stalk. I don't move that fast. You can find me on Twitter and on Facebook at CachingNW, Instagram, Caching in the Northwest. You know what's better? Head on over to CachingNW.com/host, read our bios, find all those links we mentioned, and a few secret ones we put in there for just for MC3 Cats. We didn't. I just wanted to say that. But folks, most of all, we want to say thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Don't forget that you can be part of the show. You can call into 253-693-TFTC and leave us a question or ask us to loan you a towel any time of the day or night. Of course, you can email us at feedback@CachingNW.com. Your support helps keep quality shows coming. So if you like this show, please click the Patreon link on the CachingNW.com website and subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and more. Give us a thumbs up, even a review. This show is produced by Chris Umfenauer, Jim Paulwitz, and Jay Kennedy. The show's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2019 by Chris Umfenauer. And now, folks, it's time. Yes, it's time for
The After Show.
The After Show.
I never get tired of hearing that.
Neither do we, and we sure miss him when he's not here. I think Jim tried to call in at one
He
point.
tried. I'm going to see something here. Let's see. If I do this, I don't know if Jim's there. Jim, are you there?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hey, how about that?
Yay.
This end is alive. We don't see any video, but
Well, I can unmute it, but I'm on the freeway and it's just going to be a black. It's just
okay.
extra bandwidth,
yeah.
so
It is dark out.
There you go. So yeah, I couldn't tell if you were actually connected or not.
Well, I've been in and out. I just got off work and an hour drive home. I thought I'd try to join, and then I was crossing the Tiger Mountain Summit and kept dropping out. So I'm still half an hour from home or so.
Okay. So near the Tiger Mountain Summit, you should have just redirected and gone to Hayak and got a couple of the lab caches that are sitting out in that area.
You know, I was working not far from Hayak today, so.
Oh,
Wow.
you missed an opportunity, man.
Well, they're going to be there until Labor Day, so we still have a chance.
Hey, Wits,
Well, I'm
are
working
you-
at for the next 10 days, so.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think that answers my question, which was, are we going to see you at Going Ape?
You know, it doesn't look promising at this point in time. However, the job I'm working is in Snoqualmie. And should we wrap things up early on Sunday, I will try to pop over.
That would be
Alrighty.
amazing if you can make it work, man. But
So-
Of course, by that point, I won't be able to get into the parking lot at that point. But
no.
Yeah, later you probably will. There'll probably be plenty of free parking.
Yeah,
We'll
maybe.
we'll save a spot
Right
for you,
through.
and we'll save you a spot.
so I'll try.
Keith
Awesome.
94 likes your graphic.
I'll be there in spirit.
Kind of looks like an eyeball with a reflection, but okay.
All right.
It's kind of like HAL. It's the HAL 9000.
Ooh.
Exactly. There you go.
I'm
So
sorry,
It must,
I can't do that.
it must be whatever StreamYard picked, because I didn't pick a graphic that I know of.
Yeah, no,
I think it's just the default little humanoid icon.
I'm not actually looking at my phone because I'm driving. But
Yes,
That's responsible of you.
that is responsible. Especially on Highway 18, you really don't want to be leaving your eyes leaving the road there.
No kidding.
I made it down to 512 now. So.
All right.
Making good progress.
Yeah.
All right.
We're getting there.
So
Listening to Caching in the Northwest as you're driving makes the trip go so much faster. It's worth it. I'm just saying. Okay, Wits End, we have one question in the after show that I think you can answer. Trexer
I'll try.
wants to know, what's the official pronunciation of CITNW? The initials of Caching in the Northwest.
Well, I thought it was just CNW because there's a specific creator host that doesn't like the acronym CITNW. I thought, but you know,
I was going to say, isn't IT always invisible? So it's just CNW.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Nobody
knows
pays
what
attention
I'm
to IT. Nobody wants to know about IT. So it's just CNW.
Until IT is broken, then you really want.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then you're calling that help desk really quick.
nobody wants IT until they can't do something.
That's
Then
right.
they need the sysadmin to come over and press the caps lock key so they can log in again.
So there
Jim,
you go.
you know the classic line for the IT guy is, just sign off your computer and sign back on.
That'll
Try
turn
turning
it off
off
and back
and on.
on again.
So
love that.
Trexer, there's your answer. The pronunciation is CNW.
You know, having a 3-letter slug is very easy to work with. CNW. 3ham says all we have to do is bring a cardboard cutout of Wits End to the CNW booth at Ape.
Yes.
That's not
Yeah.
all we have to do, but it'll be second best.
I do.
That's a great idea.
I wonder if I can get one before this weekend.
Just take
Go
one
find
guy
a
to your garage.
refrigerator box. Come on.
Yeah,
Don't you already have one? I mean, don't we all?
Oh. No. I can tell you stories about a cardboard cutout, man. But let's go on to a couple of questions. We may come back to that.
This is a family friendly show. Right?
No, this is family friendly. I'm looking at the name here, and okay, Alarobic says or asks, I quite enjoyed the recent Mystery at the Museum promo, and it got me back to doing more caching recently. Seemed a little more challenging than other promos, but I was on track to find the last jewels on the final weekend, finished and was excited. Then saw I needed 35 more in over 8 hours. Did anyone else think that was a bit much to throw at you at the end?
Oh gosh,
I
I was a little surprised.
It was a surprise. I mean, personally, I liked the surprise, and I found out about it from a fellow cacher up here who discovered the surprise before I did, so I knew it was coming. I mean, the volume that Mrs. Monkey and I usually cache at, it wasn't really a huge problem, but I get it. Not everybody caches like we do, and so
I've been with them. They are very loud when they cache.
Yes, that's right. We found out. But I get the point, though, that maybe it would have been nice to know that in advance.
Yes, exactly. The other 3-letter acronym show that I do before this one,
Yes.
Somebody did the math, and it was 159% increase from the 22 you needed to get to there to find the last 35. just in case you wanted to know, that was 159% increase.
There you go. Hey, I before we move on, there's some stuff in the chat I want to share here as the after show. So 3 Hams and a Rose had made the comment about bringing the cardboard cutout of Wits End to the booth, and MC3 Cats, I need you to know that the response from JT Coffee was that could be the new log.
Oh, and
so sign the Wits End cutout.
And then Monkey Cake says Costco business and Fife does large prints, banner size for making a cutout.
There you go.
You know, I have connections with Costco too, so there you go. Can you guys rush this?
Oh, and Seebeck threw in, and we could make him trackable.
and okay, here's the question: where would you put the number? I'll leave that up to your imagination.
Family-friendly podcast.
Right on.
Wits End, would you be okay with people signing your body?
It probably would have more personality than I would.
Now I have to go look to see if I have a decent picture of Wits End. You know, more than just a bust. I need, at least a 3/4 shot.
Yeah. Or just get Wits End to take one and send it to you when he finishes driving tonight.
Did you hear that, Wits End? I need a high quality picture of you.
Well, by default, if it's of me, it's probably not high quality, but we might be able to.
And JT Coffee adds in that she has one of Wits End's stashy trackables in her possession right now. So making that trackable would be no problem. So we're just down to the point of we just need the picture, guys.
This is a done deal here.
Everything's solved for us.
We should do a couple of these, and then we host an event where you bring all your mustache trackables and attach them to the Wits End cutout.
It'd be pin the mustache on Jen.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm liking this.
We blindfold people and really have fun with it.
Pin the mustache on Wits End.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great idea.
All right. Switching gears in the FTAS here, we've got a FTAS from Keats94 who says, if you find yourself in Sydney, Nova Scotia on October 11th at 3 p.m., and I mean, honestly, who doesn't?
I'm there every other weekend.
I know. Come on down to GC8 Bravo Tango 14 and say hi. So it looks like Keats94 is going to be in Sydney, Nova Scotia and hosting an event. So he's arriving in Cape Breton on the evening before, apparently just missing a cruise with 2 local cashers on board. So there you go. So come on out if you're going to be in Sydney, Nova Scotia on October 11th, 3 p.m. Say hi to Keats94 or, any other time of the year up in Metro Vancouver.
Or just happen to be. So Monkey Cakes, getting back to Mystery at the Museum. Monkey Cake says, my take on it. I found the jewels and decided to keep them for myself instead of returning them to the vault.
Hey, because geocaching is free, so
that's right.
That's your feedback.
3ham says, the World Turtle promo, those creatures.
Yeah, the mythical creatures one.
Mythical creatures required 100 cash fines, which
it's true.
Monkey Cake says, yeah, but with the World Turtle, you knew that beforehand that you needed 100 rather than a surprise 35.
Fair enough. Good points. Good points by all of our intrepid listeners.
Just in case you want to know, Keats is mostly in BC this year.
Mostly harmless. Yeah. Brilliant. Okay. Well, I think that wraps up the show for tonight, guys. What do you think?
Wits End, what would you like to say? Besides caching in the Northwest makes your driving so much easier.
It so much does, yeah. I'm thinking that I wish I'd had time to actually start the Mysteries Museum thing. I'd never even had time to get to it. But, it's been that summer.
I'll let you look at my souvenirs. I'll send you a copy.
What a generous guy.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Okay, wait.
And with that
never ends well. But you know what ends well? This podcast. Folks, get out and get caching in the Northwest.
Wow.